What's up, YouTube? This is Kyle, aka Fish, part of Team Samurai here, also part of the somewhat newly formed Team Voltic Penguin here. That's not really much of a team, that's just me and my buddy making our own name for us, basically, because we travel all the time, kind of like our own little mini team. Um, Anyways, this is a deck update for the insect deck. Still insect vines, the plants are still in here at the moment. Um, Thought about taking them out for a while because it kind of does slow down the deck a little bit. Does slow down the graveyard a little bit, but I, plants work really well with this deck. So, as for now, they're staying in. Did some deck modification. Went to regional. Went to a local tournament on Thursday. Ran this deck and went 1-3 with it. It just I was gonna. It wasn't even like I was doing bad or getting like running into bad stuff. I was just dead drawing like all day long. I went 4 matches in a row where it was like Magic, Trap, Doomdozer, Aztekapede in my hand. I was like, it's all drawing the one insect so I can special summon, but I don't know, just dead drawing. Nobody did whatever. I didn't really care. Um, Basically, I knew the tournament was over when I ran into a remove from play deck because this deck has to have a graveyard. Basically, if you don't have a graveyard, you're basically done. Like this, just you can't do anything. I mean, you have the DDRs in this deck, and you have the Return from New Dimension in this deck, but that it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really. Um, anyway, this is the deck as for right now. You got Triple Doomdozer. That's the main beater in the deck. Move to insects in play to special summon it from your hand. 2800 attack. So he's pretty big. He's the biggest card in this deck besides Titaniel, who's tied with him at 2800 as well. You got 3 Aztekapeds. The mini Doomdozer deck, remove 1 play from insect, special from your hand, 1900 attack, so he's not very small. He's pretty big. Um, he's easy synchro, like he's easy level 4 synchro basically. Basically special summon from your hand, summon Inferno Real synchro. That's all you gotta do. It's very simple tactic. You got 3 Inferno Beetles. The main tuner in the deck. You can remove or you can tribute him from your side of the field, special 2 of them from your deck if you have no cards in your hand. That doesn't happen very often, truthfully, because you're always kind of filling up your hand with this deck with Verdant and Goki Pawns in play. Um, you got the draw power with the I always forget the card's name. Yeah, you draw power with the appropriates and the chainsaw lens that combo. So I mean, your hand's always full. It's just gonna happen. We got 3 chainsaw lens decks. And most people would disagree with me running 3 chainsaws, but like I said, I do have the appropriates in this deck. There are 3 of them in here. Um, I mean, chainsaw appropriate combo is really good in this deck. You wouldn't think it would happen very often, but like I said, with the Verdant Sanctuary, you always are searching stuff out. Like just you're gonna be able to get into that so easy. It's basically just if you need to just draw into a appropriate and hope it doesn't get MST'd basically, and you're gonna have it. It goes off a lot. And in this meta, like good decks, they have their own draw power. So when your opponent activates an Allure or when Gravecube activates Allure, that's kind of like their card right now. Or when Six Sams activates their draw power, you can activate yours, and oh, hey, I get a 3+2 as well. Thanks. Um, Anyway, yeah, the chainsaw insects, and they're big too. The 2400 4-star, like you can't go wrong with that. You got 3 Howling Insects, the main searcher of the deck. You can, when this card is destroyed by battle, you can take an insect with 1500 attack or less and add it or play it on your side of the field. The only search, there's not very many searches in this deck for that. But you have a lot of them. Like, you know what I mean? There's 4 different cards, but there's 11 of them you can go get. So you got 3 Howlings, you got 3 Infirmary Beetles, you got 2 Goki Pawns, and you got 2 Spiders that you can search out. So, you got things you can go into. You got double Goki Pawn. Just another searcher, 1500. When it's destroy a valley, take a 1500 attack lesser insect from your deck and then add it to your hand. It's alright, basically going to Howling all the time. If you have a Howling, you can go in Infirmary Beetle. That's kind of like the secondary search. If you need an Infernal Beetle, go ahead and go into that. That's what it's for. You got double Spider. Basically, he's just level 4 Synchro Fodder. You can special summon him with your Howling Insects effect and, go Infernal Beetle into Synchroing for him. His tactic's pretty good. It combos really well with the creature swap combo in this deck. go, you know, Inferno or Howling Insect, creature swap, summon your spider attack into Howling Insect, bring him back, get your search, and have a monster. So basically, you have 4 monsters in one shot, which is really fun to do. It really pisses your opponent off. They're just like, they can't really do anything. They're saying like, really, and you know, you can search out a Howling or a Inferno Reveal and synchro with their own monster, which is, you know, fun to do. Like I said, this is Insect Vine, so you got 2 Lone Fire Blossoms, the main plant searcher in the deck. You contribute a plant type monster, which he is, to go get another plant type monster from your deck. A lot of people, when they run plants, they'll just do one search, so go Lone Fire into something else. Because this is mainly insect, I go Lone Fire into Gigaplant, which is, you know, the kind of the main. It's like the extra monster reborn in the deck. But another fun combo that in this deck that I have now is you go Lone Fire into a Lone Fire, and then you can chain Infernal summoning to that to get 2 Lone Fires on the field, and then tribute both of them to go get your Titanial and your Gigaplant at the same time. So that's a fun combo. I haven't got it off yet. I've done it a couple times online, but I haven't done it in real life. 1 Gigaplant, double summon him to be able to special summon a plant or insect type monster from your graveyard or hand once per turn. So this is a very good tactic. You know, it gets your stuff back on the field, fills your field up. It's a good card. Got 1 Titanial. Like I said, the other main beater. Pretty good effect. You contribute a plant type monster to negate the activation of a spell trap or effect monster that targets a card. So, you know, you get Gigaplant and Titanial on the field at the same time. If your opponent tries something stupid, you can just Titanial it and the next turn bring it back. So you kind of have like an endless negation. Just for some extra tuning, you got the Glow Bulb. This card is really good for this deck. There was Plague Spreader in this deck that was kind of the extra tuner in the deck, but because of its effect to put a card back on top of your deck, it really slowed the deck down a lot. It did help out get Red Nova, but that's all it really did. But you know, it's a good card. It's a very, very good card. Just ditch a card from the top of your deck, spell summon him. When I get the Natura Synchros, that's what he's mainly meant for. You know, Natura Beast, Natura Archeon, Landoise, if you really want. So yeah, he's going to be good. He's not good now because I don't have the Natura Synchros, but he's going to be a good card. You got 1 Kokomara Beetle, just some extra beat stickery. Showing us to keep him on the field, which is not that big of a deal. The layered Dark Monster special summon, you can switch to defense position, so you know it's not a bad tactic. Stops Cyber Dragon from being summoned. That's basically all that's kind of for. You got 1 Snipe Hunter. Yes, he is a fiend, but he's really good in this deck. Ditch a card uses the effect where you roll a dice. If you roll a 1 of 6, you can't destroy the card, but if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, it does destroy the card that you're targeting. That effect goes off probably 80% of the time. So, you know, it's a pretty good effect. Not only that, even if you don't get it off, you know, you start off with that card in your hand, have a couple insects, ditch, going to Doomdozer, going to him, tack. So it's, you know, it's pretty good. You got 3 Verdant Sanctuaries. The other main searcher in the deck, if an insect is destroyed either by card effect or by battle, you can take the same level insect from your deck and add to your hand. So, you know, just free searching, especially with Gokipon, you know, just play in attack mode, take it some life point damage, or creature swap it. I guess it doesn't really work with creature swap because it's on your opponent's side of the field. Because the card says the controller of the card. But, you know, if you have Gokipon on your side of the field, take the life point damage, search out level 2, search out, you know, 1500 attack monster, you get a +2 basically. It's, you know, it's really nice. Triple creature swap, like I talked about earlier, good to go and, you know, Howling Insect or Gokipon with that. Take a monster from your opponent, they get mad at you, and you win. It's funny. You got double DDR. You are always removing stuff from play from this deck because of the Doomdozers that second feed and the Liewires. It's kind of like a Premature Burial for remove from play monsters. Equip it to a remove from play monster, spell summon to your side of the field, and ditch a card from your hand. So that does work. That works really, really well in this deck. Like I talked about earlier, 1 Infernal Reckless Summoning. I was running 2, but it became a dead draw, so it's kind of like a staple now. 1's really good. Yeah. It's good though. It does work well with the deck. You only need 1. Like I said, I tried running 2 and it just didn't. 2 was too much. It just wasn't working. We got 1 Reasoning. I just threw this in here recently and I haven't tested with it yet. I've been like, you know, fake drawing with it. I'd put on top of the deck, draw into it, and then I'd activate it and see, you know, most people are probably going to say 4 because 4 is a popular thing to run. So I always just would call 4 and see how many times it would mill, or how many times it wouldn't work, and how many cards I would mill. Usually I would mill out 1 or 2 magic traps, and then I go into a card, but I think half the time it was level 4. So yeah, we'll see. We'll do some testing with it. Got Monster Reborn, staple the deck, staple, whatever, and a Dark Hole, another staple. Just good card. Good way to get the field clear. Not very many traps. It's only 7, or 8, 7, whatever. Appropriate, like I talked about. That's your draw power. When your opponent draws a side their draw phase, you can draw 2 cards, so it's really nice. Double Wire, so some extra monster destruction. When playing sex, destroy 1 monster opponent's side of the field. Torrential, stable, and return from the dimension. Pay half your life points, plus summon as many room play monsters as possible. So, not bad. You do have to give up a lot of life points, but it's worth it. It's like your TK. On to the synchros. There are some random ones in here, by the way. I just kind of threw some in here. Because you never know, Monster Reborn, you can get stuff and synchro with it. So, you got 3 Underground Arachnids, the main synchro in the deck. I'm not going to explain this effect right now because, the video's kind of long already. So, look it up. You get a Frozen Fitzgerald, like I talked about. Monster Reborn you can get into them. Splendid Rose, because you do run plants, so it's good. Flame Volley Queesis for piercing if you need it. Iron Chain Dragon for level 6 beat Stickery. Pretty good card. Like talked about, I got the Natura Landois here. Pretty good, I guess. It's not a bad card, but it's not amazing either. Ancient Fairy Dragon, because you just never know when you need Ancient Fairy Dragon. Stardust Dragon. Scrap Dragon works really well in this deck because of the Verdant. Iron Chain. Red Dragon Archfiend. Allied Justice Descendant Armor. This card is amazing. I think I'm going to fall in love with this card here really soon. It works really, really well. It's huge. Has a lot of effects. Does well. And the last card, Red Nova Dragon. Just because he's Red Nova Dragon, he's huge, he's big, he's fun. Onto the side deck, you got 2 Shiny Black Seas. Stop Synchro Shenanigans. You got a Crossword Beetle for some extra piercing. Magnet Mosquito for gadgets, whatever you need to do that. Majority of Might for, because Kaius is huge in this format. Everyone loves playing Kaius, so yeah, just give me your Kaius Tinker with them. You got an Anti-Eating Ant for some back row destruction, just in case you need that. Double Prohibition because I'm a dick and I love Prohibition. It's a good card. Barrow from Different Dimension, just from the anti-meta, same thing, anti-meta. Spell Shining Arrow for, whatever, a field card basically. That's kind of like for Dragoonides or Gravekeepers or 6 Amps. So there you go. MST, because you never know when you need MST. Horde of Heaven, very good card. Stop special summonings if, everyone's concentrating on one special summon, just, no, never mind. And Desperar, just because, sometimes you just need a room to play cards in the graveyard. So that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed it. Guess I'm not going to be able to go. There we go.